Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. But before we begin, just remember, you can't spell boyfriend without end. Our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for posting on Instagram that I was not this guy's girlfriend after he posted a picture of us together? I'm an 18-year-old female, and a guy, A, is a 21-year-old male, and we're part of the same social group, and share mutual friends, but we're not really friends. Last month, my best friend moved into her own apartment away from her abusive family. We had a mini celebration at her flat with me, her, A, and 6 other people, a total of 5 females and 4 males. We had drinks and took some photos. I took a lot with my best friend and a few with my closest friends, and before we left, we took a group photo. I stood next to A because I was the shortest and he was the second shortest of the group. A few of us posted pictures on Instagram a little while later that day, and that was that. Well, 2 days ago, I got a bunch of guys DMing me if A and I were together and dating, and I was so confused. I asked my best friend, and she sent me a screenshot of what guy A had posted. There were a total of 4 pics that he uploaded, and the first one was his new car, the second was car parts, I'm not sure, and the third photo was the 2 of us cropped out of the group shot, and that last pic of his university entrance. He captioned it, Life at 21, living the dream, by not living the dream. I was creeped out by this. We had never had a conversation together, and I was uncomfortable with the idea that he had cropped everyone out of the group shot to make it look like we're together. I asked for his phone number and contacted him, saying that he could either delete the post or repost it with me cropped out. He got upset with me and told me it wasn't a big deal and that I was being narcissistic because, quote, if I was some Instagram model, you would have begged for that. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. That's how it works. That's how it all works. What astute observations he has made. I got mad and I went to Instagram and uploaded a picture of the group shot, his post, and I wrote a disclaimer that I was not dating him and that he was being a creep. I wrote it all in caps that, quote, I am not his girlfriend, he is just being a creep. A lot of people in my comments told me that I was taking it too far and that I was being a little too harsh and humiliating him. He also blew up my phone saying that I humiliated him and ruined his social life. I love it when the victimizers are always like, you ruined my life. Not giving any consideration at all to like what position they've put the person that they victimized in. I love it. I love it in a deranged kind of I don't like it at all way. All of his family and his new university friends saw it, and I low-key feel like I did take it too far. I have a lot of followers, 25,000, and I think I shamed him a little too publicly. Am I the jerk? Alright, folks, let me know what you think, jerk or not the jerk.
Not the jerk.
OP, I don't think that you're the jerk. It doesn't matter that you have 25,000 Instagram followers or 10 Instagram followers. The point is that he used your picture without your permission and made it seem like you two were dating even though you weren't. And again, if you are a influencer, like it sounds like you are, you are a brand and you have to protect your brand to some degree. And I mean, this is part of protecting your brand, right? You can't just have every person go around being like, oh, I have a picture with you, we are now dating, right? So it doesn't work that way. So I don't think that you're the jerk. I think that this guy hopefully learns not to do this kind of bad behavior in the future. And I guess you have one fewer friend in your mutual friends group to worry about. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, he cropped the photo, he uploaded the photo knowing what it implied. You asked him to repost with the uncropped photo, he declined. His version of the photo was creepy. You posted the truth. I think the fact that OP tried to handle this privately is key. If OP had posted without trying to resolve it first, this may have ventured into jerk territory, slightly. But I think OP was super respectful trying to handle the situation maturely and privately. This guy thought that he could take advantage of OP's kindness and didn't think she would call him out. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and he won the jackpot. I agree, OP did try to handle this in a private way to begin with, but then he's like, why? I wasn't expecting you to actually call me out on this. I would have also have posted a screenshot of you asking nicely and him basically implying that you would do this if he was Insta famous. and if he's not blatantly the one actually doing that. That would communicate to everyone involved that you had already tried to handle this gracefully by giving him the benefit of the doubt. It's not as if he denied that was his original intent, so it would put a stop to people thinking that you were making assumptions, and anyone still saying that you're a jerk after that either clearly has some biases or is the type of person who would do the same thing as him and would be mortified at the idea of being called out themselves. And to all those telling you that you implied something about him publicly, remind them that you received a swarm of messages asking if you were his girlfriend. So he crossed that line first. Why should you suffer wondering what people think of you based on what he posted? But it's unfair for him to be worried about what people think of him after your post, which he was given ample opportunity to avoid by removing the photo. People should know by 2022 that anything posted online, including private messages, could come back to bite you in the butt. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk Because I Asked a Stranger to Leave My Private Property? I'm posting this because I was told I would end up on Reddit, and my kids also told me that this is likely what the person meant. So I live in an area that's seeing a lot of new builds. My husband and I have the largest lot on our street, and we've lived here for 20 plus years. Probably 800 people lived here when we bought our house, and now it's 10,000 plus. It's about an acre and a half. We installed a big play area a few years ago for the nieces, nephews, and eventual grandkids. It's on the opposite side of our lot, pretty far from the house. There's a path that goes from our second driveway. It's landscaped, and we purchased it from a contractor who was replacing some other park, so I can see how people mistake it for a town park. This happens often that people stop to play, and I usually don't care, but we don't encourage it, as we have two giant dogs who will bark at strangers who come into the yard. I put up some blatant signs that say private property and beware of dog. Right now, it's still cold here. It's early Friday morning, and I open the door to let the dogs out, and they stay in the yard and ignore anything outside the yard. The dog starts barking. I hear yelling, and I run outside. There's a couple and their kids playing on the playground. I call the dogs back and put them in the house. I go over and apologize and let them know that this isn't a public park. As soon as I get within earshot, the mom starts yelling, "What is wrong with you? We're calling animal control on you. Who lets the dogs just run around a freaking park? Get a fence." I hate confrontation, so I get a little shaky. I tell her it's not a park, it's my yard. She says, "Get out of here, get away from us." I point to the signs that tell her that it's not a park, it's our yard, and they need to leave. She starts going on about how it's illegal to leave a play area open. It isn't, and it's illegal to let your dogs off the leash in this neighborhood. It isn't. There are almost no bylaws here yet. I tell them again just to leave and that they weren't allowed to be on the property. My dogs are in the big window barking, and her husband is screaming that I should train my dogs before they kill someone. They're bred to guard and detain intruders. Historically, we don't train them as guard dogs. This made me mad more than anything because I'm an irrational animal lover. I called the police. When they saw that I was on the phone with the cops, they started shouting about me being a Karen and started getting in their car. Their poor kid was crying, and the woman said, "Watch what happens when you end up on Reddit. When we'll tell people where you live." Ooh, they're threatening to dox this person? Wow, that's classy. Stay classy. So here you go, Reddit. My kids checked and they didn't find anything about it here, so I'll post it first, and I hope she does post something. I'm sorry my dog scared them, but the screaming and threatening was over the top and honestly deranged. My kids want me to end this by asking if I'm the jerk because I'm old and I want to get people off my lawn. Oh my goodness. Everyone's saying install a fence. That would cost $1,500 plus. I've just contacted a company about getting a gate for our second driveway. Also, where we live, you can't sue someone if they're trespassing on private property. Suing isn't something people can do easily here. It's usually just not for any big settlement. Before you comment about an attractive nuisance law, it doesn't exist here. I don't want to say where I'm in, but it isn't the US or anywhere close. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
OP, I give you permission to yell at these people to get off your lawn. The thing is that you generally, OP, are a person who doesn't mind when people use your yard, but these people saw the private property signs. They went and played on this playground anyways. When the property owner came out, they started arguing with you and saying that you're the one being irrational. And the fact of the matter is that your dogs are guard dogs, essentially. They're here. You have signs up saying beware of the dogs. So they have all the warning in the world that there are dogs. So they shouldn't be in the least surprised that there are dogs. I don't think that you're the jerk in this situation. I think that they were acting extremely unreasonably here, and I think that hopefully this, keeps them off your property from here on out, because you don't want someone like that on your property. I mean, what happens if they fall off your playground and break their arm or something like that? Then they're gonna sue you for that or something like that. So, I don't know. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. If it's your property, it's your property. That woman is obnoxious, and it's her fault her kids were crying. I would install a privacy fence and lock it. And OP says, I would love to install a fence, but it would cost upwards of $15,000. I think after this, we'll at least get a gate for the second driveway. Not the jerk. If you don't want a fence due to cost, consider landscaping alternatives that make it more obvious that it's part of your home. A hedge, a series of small bushes, literal rocks. I completely agree with you. Not the jerk might suggest thorny landscaping if you're in a hardiness zone for it. What about some bougainvillea? Oh my goodness.
Bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea. If you're in a hardiness zone for it, what about some bougainvillea? They're not only have stunning colors, but can be trained into hedges and are trespassing deterrents. You could also just fence in the play area and not your whole property, and have a gate/door with a lock. This was a case of assuming and being entitled. They tried to shift the blame onto you, OP, about your dogs, and then calling you a liar about it being your property. You're not a Karen, you're a homeowner that has the right to remove someone from your property. All right, folks, it is tea time. Hopefully you've grabbed your beverage of choice and you have some tea here. Hopefully you've grabbed your beverage of choice. I've got some tea here. Amber's got some tea there.
Mint tea for me.
Amber has mint tea. I will allow you to make a guess. Name Snow White's brother. Egg whites. What? Is that even a joke? Oh, come on. Give me a break. Give me a break, joke book. Egg whites? No. No. Clearly no. I have mega mint today. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for kicking my brother and his family out after his son stole my engagement ring? The reason I, a 26-year-old male, know this because I literally caught him in my room going through my things. And it's on freaking camera. My nephew is 9 and has a habit of stealing things. They've gotten in trouble a few times at stores because he'd leave with something in his pockets. Because of course he's a kid, they usually just say he forgot he had it. Even at school, my brother has told me that they have had to come and talk to the principal a couple of times. Doesn't seem like they've done anything to stop it. They had to come here with me because my brother lost his job and they weren't going to make it with all their bills, including rent. He's doing Uber right now while he searches for a job so they can move out. I didn't want to because my nephew specifically, but family is family, I guess. A month ago, I finally bought an engagement ring for my girlfriend that I was planning on proposing to soon, but now I don't know. It's a $4,000 ring that I spent over a year saving up for. It's been hidden in my room under one of my drawers. One time I found him snooping in my room. I told my brother to control his kid. Then I got one of those cheap spy cams in my room just in case. Then last week I noticed it was out of its box. After checking the cam, it showed that he was in there again, and it was while I wasn't home. My brother and his wife have yelled at him. He says that he left it by the TV in the guest room, but it's not there. They look through all of their stuff and his stuff too. I know for a fact that he's lying about not having it because that's the same thing he said about one of my watches when he took it and ended up finding it. By the second day, my brother tells me that they can't find it at all, and I told him either they find it or he repays me $4,000 I spent it on. If not, they can't stay here anymore. My brother got really upset. He told me I know how their situation is right now. And yeah, it's a tough spot, but I couldn't ignore the fact that his kid he can't parent took something extremely important to me that caused me to lose a lot of time and money. They were given a week to leave my house if they don't find the ring. They're having to stay at a cheap motel, but my brother won't stop bugging me to come back because they're paying right now each night and it's coming directly out of their savings. He won't stop calling me heartless about letting something like this come between him and helping them through a difficult time, and my nephew keeps saying he's sorry. It's just hard right now to want them around, don't even know what to do about the ring, and every time I think about it, it just makes me so mad that it's hard to care about their situation. Does that make me a jerk? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk, but contact pawn shops.
Yeah, I tend to agree here with Amber. I think that the pawn shops are probably your best place to look. Also, file a police report and have the ring put up by a police report. So that way, if it does end up in a pawn shop, then they can't sell it, right? Because you can't sell stuff in pawn shops that are stolen. So pawn shops aren't going to be happy about having a stolen good on their hands. And this way, one, if your brother does know about it and they're pawning it and they're just, being, mean about this, then they deserve to be punished for this, right? And then you'll get your ring back. Two, if it doesn't end up in a pawn shop and it's just in your house, then you'll eventually come across it, hopefully, in your house, right? Or three, if you file a police report, then maybe it'll scare your brother into actually finding the ring and, giving it back to you. So, finding the ring, right? So, I don't think that you're the jerk in the situation. I think that they took advantage of your kindness and they're not doing anything to stop their kid from stealing. They haven't punished their kid from stealing. So, what are you supposed to do? They're just not going to suffer any consequences. And it sounds like he's already stolen a watch from you. I mean, how many more things are they going to steal from you before they actually sit down and punish this kid? So,
Well, he routinely just steals from stores.
oh yeah, and he just routinely steals from stores. They need to fix this before the kid ends up in juvie. The kid probably should be in juvie now with everything he stole, and especially a $4,000 ring.
His parents might be encouraging it.
Yeah, the parents might be encouraging it if they're really in a tough spot and they need money to make ends meet. But that's a big assumption, and unfortunately, we just don't have a lot of information in there. So, yeah. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, they sold the ring. I think so too. At this point, why won't his nephew say where it went? I agree with you. I also think they sold the ring. OP is not the jerk. It's not like a 9-year-old would forget what he did with it. If he was a toddler/preschooler, then I could understand not knowing where it was, but he's 9 and he knows exactly what happened to it. If he left it somewhere, then the brother and wife did something with it, and if I were at OP, I would start looking at pawn shops and report it to the police so it can be reclaimed without loss. And they can't be bothered to get help for a kid who desperately needs it. They're failing that child. File a police report so you can at least get the insurance. Not the jerk, file a police report and then claim a file with your homeowner's insurance. OP says, I don't have homeowner's insurance, it's not a house. If OP has renter insurance, though, then they might be able to claim it on renter's insurance, too. File a police report and take them to small claims court. You have proof on the camera, not the jerk. Hopefully not, but there is a possibility he was encouraged to do it and it was pawned. And OP says, nobody knew I got the ring for my girlfriend. It's been hidden in my room before they even came to live with me. But, I mean, OP, it doesn't take like a genius to know that you might be proposing to your girlfriend at some point in time. So I wouldn't discount the fact that they sent the kid on a mission to at least search for something of value in the room. And clearly he found something of value, Whether they pawned it or not, I don't know. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.